Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the LAS Grand Tournament Draw Show. I am Stripes of Midnight Gaming Eclipse, and I'm joined by the one, the only Bowtie King, Rav. What's up, Rav?
I'm here, I'm fabulous, and I'm looking for the placement of my own Apple Bottom Boys. How are we going to get seated in this grand tournament? And that's why we're all here to see this live action.
Let's check out how this is going to go out. But first and foremost, before we actually get into the draw itself, we have to discuss for all of these new players, all of these new teams, how the format is going to work. Now, if you're all familiar with Worlds, which is going on right now, it's clear like Worlds, but it's a lot drawn down. There are 3 stages just like Worlds. However, one of them is the draw show. We have 12 teams that made it in, 3 stages, and of course, only 1 champion. Do you think you guys are gonna win it at all?
We're looking to see what bracket we get in, and whether we get into that lovely bracket of death where there's no champion involved. None of the champs, as in Roar, GT Sabres, or the Dire Wolves. Now, they each cannot be placed in the same division. Neither can another team from the same division. So each bracket is going to have 1 Masters, 1 Legends, and 1 Warriors team to guarantee that we are going to have some fun new matchups for everyone involved.
Indeed. And I do also want to point out we are going to have 4 groups, which means 1 group is not going to have any one of these champions. This is what we are presuming to be a group of life. But first and foremost, what are our stages? The draw show, which we got right now. We have the group stage and we got the knockout stage. Now, how is the draw actually going to work? Let's start off with that before we get into anything else. So the draw, of course, is split up into different pools as normal. But what are those pools? Well, first of all, we got pool 1, which is going to be all of the winners of, and we got pool 2, which is basically everybody else. As said before, you cannot be seated in the same group if you with a team of your division. So Verge Warriors cannot be in the same group as RAR. Dire Wolves cannot be put in the same group as Espionage, because they all came from the same division. Again, 4 groups, 3 teams in each group, and that is how we are going to determine what the groups are for the group stage.
I like this, Stripes. This guarantees we're going to have some fun matchups, because we're going to see matchups we've never seen before here in the LAS in Season 3. And there it is, 1 team from each division in each group. And like you said, 3 champions divided out into 3 of the groups. 1 will have no champion in them.
Indeed. In each group, it will be a double round robin, just like the regular season of the LAS. Best of 1s, and the top 2 teams will make it out to the knockout stage. And that is where the fun begins. The knockout stage, the final bracket to determine who is going to win Season 3 of the LAS. It'll be 8-team fixed bracket, 3. It'll be best of 3s, single elim, nothing too fancy. And teams will battle it out to crown a new grand champion.
I don't know about you, Stripes, but best of 3s, that's where it's at. That's where we're seeing teams being able to change strategies, change bans, change picks, and see if they can be able to go ahead and get the advantage over the other. So that's where the real fun is, and that's where we get to crown a grand champion.
Indeed. It's going to be so much fun, and I can't wait to see. And here we are. We do have the pools. Of course, Pool 1 is going to be the Dire Wolves, GT Sabres, and RAR, each winning their respective division. Pool 2 will be everybody else, including both Verge teams, Cashed Out Gaming, Apple Bottom Boys, Empire Gaming, Midnight Gaming, Eclipse, and Chaos, Huskers Black, and Team Espionage. So excited to see where these teams will end up and see if we get any fire matchups.
Yeah, we're definitely looking to see which groups face which. Are you going to be, remember, it's 2 out of 3 that are going to advance. So you've got to be looking at who you can be reliably taking games off in your group. You've got to be able to go 2-0 against one of the teams in your groups if you want to reliably be able to make it through. So like it's 2 out of 3, but also you have to think as 1 out of every one of these groups is not even going to make it to the knockout stage. So it's going to be really dependent on how these teams come out and how they're going to be placed into the knockout stage, where they're really going to be fighting for their lives.
Indeed, it is quite tragic, but we could see some interesting matchups. We could see the 2 Verge teams go after each other. Direwolves facing off against another Midnight Gaming group. We'll just have to see how this draw is going to go. But first things first, we have to determine who is going to be pulled first, which one team is going to be head of Group A, and we're only moments away, folks. The draw show.
They're gonna have a moral advantage, right? Being first, like, I mean, they're really leading everything off. Like, you got to think every other team's gonna be envious of whoever gets drawn first here.
Probably, but first things first, we have to see who's gonna be heading it, and of course, it has to be Roar from the Legends division.
Last to first, Roar has made the historical run. Having gone through many roster changes for 3 heats, Roar finally found their roster and started to grind to the top. Heading in as the 1 seed, they are poised to prove that they belong at the top, and they are here to stay. Roar!
Indeed, Roar is one of those interesting teams. We never expected them to make it to the finals, but now, not only did they make it to the finals, they did end up 2-0ing the Verge Warriors. So, Group A is where it's going to be, and I cannot wait to see what's going to go down in there. But we still have 2 more Pool 1 teams to go through. But once we get to that, once they're through, that's where I'm really excited to see where everything goes off. Because Group D is going to be headed by a team that's not a division winner. That's going to be interesting. That is probably going to be the most fun group to watch.
Let's be real, Stripes. That's the real first meaningful pick that's going to be. Who's going to be in, like you said, this group of life with 3 playoff winners.
Yes,
I got to tell you, for my own team, we'd love to be in there.
Yes,
that'd be a great place to be.
But first, we have to see who's heading Group B, and it's GT Sabres, everybody, from the Warriors division. Preseason champions, Warriors division champions, and now on the hunt for the Grand Tournament. The Sabres are looking to put up a 3rd banner in the first ever LAS trifecta run. Having only lost 2 games all season, the Sabres are heavy favorites in the Grand Tournament. Don't want to be caught on the sharp end of their blade. Ooh, who is that on the other side under that? He sounds sexy.
What a big play! What a big moment! What a great replay from GT Sabres.
Indeed,
great choice on the playback, guys. What a meaningful kill at a meaningful time in a meaningful series.
I cannot wait.
I gotta tell you, you don't want to be up against them. You don't want to be a group.
You don't want to be pointed. Don't want to be caught on the sharp end of their blade, like I said in that video.
Yeah, you gotta go for like a General Custer type of moment there. You know, you gotta catch them in their overconfidence and surround them, take them all out.
Yes, first and foremost, and we do have one more group to go through to see which Pool 1 team is going to be heading Group C. We all know it. And it's going to be Midnight Gaming Direwolves from the Masters Division.
That was a little bit predictable. Hopefully not like their future drafts.
Hopefully.
Uh-oh.
The Direwolves are coming into the tournament after winning the Masters division. After losing 3 key players in the offseason, the new roster has found success under their head coach, Kishao Arima. With their pickup of mid-lane veteran Vincent, alongside longtime Direwolf Very Wet, they are poised to capture the team's first Grand Tournament title.
I do want to say, there is one more thing we got to mention about the Direwolves before we start getting into that Group D.
What's this?
Vincent. Vincent is one of the most... He is the most winningest player in the LAS. He has 5 banners to his name. 2 boosted bonobos, he has some boosted bonobos, P247, and now 1 with the Direwolves. He is just a winning machine. But can he win 2 grand tournaments? We'll just have to find out, man.
He's definitely cornering this championship market. If we were to turn these championships into like an NFT and like, release them to the public, he'd have a real big share and really want that price to go up.
Indeed. Unfortunately, we're not a paid league. That would be awesome. But now the moment of truth. Who is heading Group D from Pool 2? Oh boy, what the best one? It's Huskers Black from the Masters division. Nope, from the Warriors division. From inheriting a 0-4 record to proving that they belong here in the LAS, Huskers Black has done nothing but impress since they joined the league. They find themselves once again with an opportunity to succeed. They have proven they can take games off top teams like GT Sabres, but they will be looking to shore up their communication in-game, but they can still take down anyone on the right day. Be careful, you don't want them in your group.
And here we're going to see them put onto the board.
I can't think of a more deserving team. They came in with a rough thing. They've been good sports about it. After an unfortunate issue came up in the Warriors division, we moved them over because they were so in our minds well deserving of it, and now they are heading a group without a 1 seat in it. And I think they are definitely a threat in and of themselves. I've heard nothing but like good things from teams that have played them in the Masters division. They were the first team to take a game off of GT Sabres and stop their perfect run through the regular season and playoffs. So I can't wait to see what they do in Group D. But now, who is going to be paired up with their Direwolves? It is going to be Cashed Out Gaming with RAR, my bad, from the Warriors division. After a great regular season, Cashed Out Gaming is coming in as the 2nd seed. Following a shortened divisional finals to the champions GT Sabres, they're looking to take their success into the group stage. They want to redeem themselves after that defeat as they look to cash out as a top 4 finish at minimum. But who knows, they could take it all the way. And I do believe that. I do think that they could take it all the way. They are a scary team. They, just like Huskers Black, they did take a game off of GT Sabres in that finals. They are a well-deserving team to be in this league. They've shown it. And now they get to play off against Roar. But I wouldn't be too surprised if Cashed Out Gaming did top this group.
I think Group A is a toss-up right now. Like you're saying, I think I could see either team taking games off each other. So if you're a team looking to get into a group where where you don't maybe have the most dominant teams in the league, but you have teams that you could go back and forth with, getting into Group A, is one that you could think to maybe be the top 2.
Indeed. Now we have another team that we are going to pull, and it is the Verge Gods from the Masters division.
Having lost the Masters Division Finals to the Direwolves, the Gods have become one of the best performing teams in the LAS. Led by Pac and Loki, this team has talented players, a deep champ pool, and the hunger to become grand champions. Keep an eye out for this team, as landing in their pool is bad news.
I just imagine when he does that when he did that voiceover, he's just sitting in a chair in front of a sizzling fireplace with a book open, top hat, and monocle on his face.
That's hilarious, but that was also a massive game that the Verge was able to take off of the Direwolves. So let's see if they're going to be able to do it again, possibly in the knockout stage. But for the time being, they're going to be going head to head with GT Sabers. And I got to tell you that is a very, very strong group here in Group B. This is a group with two teams in it that's very tough to take games off of.
It's gonna be a bloodbath. I just know it. The Gods, GT Sabers are two really, really strong teams, and I can't wait to see them face off against each other. Gods nearly, once again, just like Cashed Out Gaming, nearly beat the Direwolves and nearly won their division in a 2-1. But that didn't happen in the end. Next team we got to pull off. We have a clash of MNG teams. It's going to be Chaos from the Legends division.
Chaos finished the regular season in last place, losing tiebreakers. Having regrouped and battled their way up through the gauntlet from the bottom, they secured the last spot from the Legends division. This team is eager to get into the tournament and hit the ground running. They have much to prove and the stage to do it on. This is the Dark Horse.
I'm still so fortunate we were able to cast that game. That was from the Gauntlet Finals between them and Rajin Storm, and that was such a great game. But now, I personally can breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief not going against the Direwolves.
Yeah, absolutely. What a treat to catch that do or die gauntlet game, and Chaos were able to win 2 games in the gauntlet to be able to come out and make it to the grand tournament. And they're going to be in tough against sister team, the Direwolves. But let's see who gets slotted into the third slot. We could yet see Chaos come out of these groups.
Indeed, as we are getting down to the final 4 pulls, we do have to mention that if a team is not eligible for the group they are drawn into, they will be moved to the next eligible group to keep it with consistency. And Rav, you guys just got drawn. You guys will be facing off against Huskers Black. It's Apple Bottom Boys from the Masters Division.
Yeah!
ABB is coming in as the 3rd seed. Having finished the regular season in the middle of the pack, they are looking to regroup and use the unique pocket picks to shake their group up. Led by Rav and Waffen, this team is looking to hit a hot streak. Watch out, as they can be on underdogs spoiling plans.
Not often you see a Sejuani getting a triple kill, but you can make it work, Rav.
Thank you. I often take kills from my laner with tank junglers. You can too, if you play like me.
Indeed. We have a team slotted into Group D. I do want to point out which teams are missing, what divisions are missing from each group. Group A is missing a Masters Division team. Group B is missing a Legends Division team. C is missing a Warriors Division team. And D is also missing a Legends Division team. So we kind of can pick out where these teams are going to go. But I'm a little nervous as a person of Eclipse because I don't want to end up in that Group B. That looks scary.
Yeah, absolutely. And just a little bit of history for Group D. We did go 1-1 with Huskers Black in this season.
But
So,
we have a clash
nice and even.
again between Verge teams. It's the Verge Warriors from the Legends of Division.
Coming in the number 2 seed, the Warriors dominated the regular season, but fell a little short in playoffs. You can expect the Warriors to come into the tournament with a chip on their shoulder, and rightfully so. Led by Kabutops and Ghosts of the West, they are hungry to prove that they are a championship caliber team. Let's wait and see.
Indeed, and I can breathe a sigh of relief. I don't have that group. That is going to be a tough group. GT Sabers, Gods, and Warriors. That is going to be amazing to watch.
Absolutely. Like you said, it's going to be iron sharpening iron there in Group B. But all the other groups, you see a little bit different dynamic. Group A is still is very even. We're not sure who's going to come out ahead on this group. Any team slotting into there has a chance to either lead it or perhaps even finish at the bottom against these fairly strong teams.
Indeed, it's kind of a formality at this point. We actually know where every team is going to end up, and of course, Empire Gaming has to get pulled from the Warriors division. Empire Gaming had a successful regular season with a 7-3 record. Being knocked out in the semifinals of playoffs, they are looking to bounce back. If they can find their style, you can expect Architect to build them a path to victory, and Trash Man to take out the trash as they take over games. They have the tools to make a deep run in this tournament, but be careful, be on the wrong side of them, and they'll mow you down on their way to building their grand empire. Will they build their grand empire? That is the big question. Slotting into Group C, they have a wave of midnight gaming teams to go through. Chaos and Direwolves. That's going to be very, very interesting, and I can't wait to see how that group shapes up.
I really see that the Direwolves clearly leading that group, but I think who's going to finish second is a toss-up. It makes Group C all the more interesting. Who is going to move along in that group? I could see either team finishing, and let's remember, Chaos has been looking hot, winning 2 games to get into this grand tournament. So, yes, Empire had a better regular season, but Chaos winning games when they need it, and are they still hot? Are they still winning games? We're going to find out.
Indeed, and we have 2 more teams to pull. Who are we going to talk about first? That's going to be the big question, and we are going to have to talk about Espionage slotting into Group A from the Masters Division.
Coming into the league as a newly formed team, the players themselves are longtime veterans. They are led by well-known Yukimoto and Reverse. Having made it through the gauntlet, this team has yet to play at their potential. If they find their consistency, they become a scary team to see in groups.
Can we get him to do all the voiceovers? It's just so like an air of just like officialness just comes around it. But back
Absolutely, doing excellent work. But what else is we have an amazing Group A here. I can see any of these teams topping it. We have no idea who's going to come out of Group A, and that just it's going to make for excellent games, and it's going to make the LAS show and any of these casted games just be in such anticipation.
Indeed.
I really can't wait. This has been all that it's been hyped up for.
Indeed, I can't wait. All of these groups look very, very interesting, but there is one more team to pull, and Rav, Rav, oh Rav, I was wondering if this was gonna happen, and it is. You and I, my friend, we're going to do a lot of Battle on the Rift as Eclipse gets slotted into Group C from the Legends Division.
Keep your friends close, but
And your enemies closer.
Even closer. Having bounced back from a poor Season 2, Eclipse is a totally revamped team. Finding success early in the season and then falling into roster troubles, the team is yet to find their footing. This team, though, is full of talented players, led by Stripes and Snazzy Cat, but are still looking to find their confidence. If they can come together as a unit, they can make a deep run in the tournament.
I cannot wait, ladies and gentlemen. Our groups are done. Our groups are drawn. In Group A, we have Roar, Cashed Out Gaming, and Espionage. Group B, GT Sabers and both Verge teams, the Gods and the Warriors. Group C, we have Midnight Gaming Direwolves, Midnight Gaming Chaos, and Empire Gaming. And in Group D, Huskers Black, Apple Bottom Boys, and Eclipse.
I never thought we'd be literally at each other's throats here,
Indeed.
okay, by the end of this. But, you know, we entered this as friends and colleagues. We're going to exit this. Well, we're just going to have to see. But Group D, anyone can take this. And, wow, what a grand tournament we have for us.
May the best team win.
Yep.
It's going to be exciting. I do think that this is probably one of the best draws for these for a lot of these teams. The Verge teams playing against each other, battling it out. Cashed Out Gaming, RAR, Espionage. I wouldn't be surprised if Cashed Out Gaming topped that, but we'll still have to wait and see. Another clash between Direwolves and Chaos, and then Empire Gaming. They are possibly one of the dark horses of this. We don't know what to expect from them when it comes to interdivisional play, so we'll just have to wait and see. And then Group D, I don't know if there is a favorite. Huskers Black, we feel like we haven't seen their true potential. And then you and me. This is gonna be a fun group.
Yeah, it's coming right around the corner. November 7th, November 14th are both group weekends and double round robin. We're going to find out who's going to advance. 2 out of 3 are going to go into the knockout stage. 8 teams are going to go forward into best of 3s, where it's going to play down as a bracket, and there's going to be only one winner.
One winner. Will GT Sabers finish off their trifecta, being the first to do so? Will Vincent be the first player to win multiple banners for the Grand Tournament? Will the Direwolves continue their streak and actually make a Grand Tournament Finals again and win it? Oh, this is going to be so hyped to watch.
I think you highlighted the two favorites right there. I think just based on what we've seen so far here in Season 3, GT Sabers, Direwolves, it could be anyone's guess who you think is going to win. GT Sabers winning a few higher percentage of games this season, but the Direwolves have just looked very strong, and especially as the season has gone on, so it looks like they're peaking at the right time. So I can't wait, but of course. You really just have to get out of this group, and you don't know who you're going to get out in the knockout stage. You can get a favorable matchup or two, end up in the finals, and have a real shot at victories. Really, any team can take it, and we have seen big upsets in the past.
One thing I will want to mention is you cannot be placed in the same side of the bracket as the other team that makes it out of your group. So getting the 1 seed, and also no one who finishes in the same place as from the other groups as you as well. So getting that 1 seed is probably going to be really massive, because you don't want to see a lot of these teams coming out if some of these groups go the way they are.
Yeah.
especially GT Sabres, Direwolves, if they end up topping their group, you don't want to face them in quarters. You want to face them as late as possible, get their mojo going. But we'll see if they can actually make it to the finals, if we can actually see if another team ends up taking the entire thing. But that is going to do it for the draw show. I am super excited for this. I am so excited to see how these groups pan out. What about you, Rav?
Absolutely, and while we're thanking everyone, I know Panzer Valari put a lot of work to make this happen, and Vincent also helped with this idea. And you got to really look at just this draw show and all the videos and the voiceover work that was being done, and a lot went into it, and I can already see it's looking amazing.
Yes, and on behalf of this has been the Draw Show. I'm Stripes. This has been Rav. On behalf of everyone, we'll see you in the LAS Grand Tournament. See y'all then.
Ciao.